So what I'm going to do is just share my screen. Obviously, the question is going to be why we're reverting back to our original Plantation FC. And it was just an agreement that we made within our club and our board that it would be best for us to go back to the origination of our club of since 1985. The club was founded, and it would get we would be able to move forward and get to the club where we want it to be within the next name change. Going to my share screen. Ooh, no, it's not what I wanted to share, but so us being part of Plantation FC, we have a long lineage of producing different players that are played in a very high level. Just to show a few names that were put together by the coaching staff that have been here for a while, both male and females. There's 3 on top here that are all playing in a highly university level at the current time. They all came from our program. There are different members of the U.S. national team that are throughout the years that have come from our program from Plantation FC, all different levels from the U20, U23, and national men's team. Current player Jonathan Lewis is a member or a previous member, alumni of Plantation FC. He is on the national men's team. As you can see in the bottom, there's more players there. We can forward this to you if you would like to do some research on those particular players and see where they're at and that type of thing. The other thing I'm going to show you is, obviously you guys know that our park is being redone at Pine Island Park. I will show you what the rendering is, what it looks like, or what it will look like shortly. So just for a breakdown really quick, those that are on computers, I know on the phone is going to be hard to see. This is the mall over here on this side. This is the current old parking lot. This was where field 3 was. They're going to add more parking there. Field 3 is gone. The level, the number of fields will stay the same. They're adding 2 buildings here. One's going to be a new concession stand and restrooms. This building here is going to be maintenance and a meeting room for the players / coaches. This field here is field where currently field number 2 is. That's a synthetic field. That is the only synthetic field that they will be doing. The rest of them will be grass. The old parking lot, which was up in this corner, will be a field. This is the original field number 1. This is original field number 7 that's still there. And then the 3 fields that were previously there are still there, will be redone, but still be there. This area here, if you notice, if you can read that, is a new goalie area that they're going to be specifically for goalies to train on. That's going to be synthetic as well. Before I introduce the next person, what I would like to do is ask you guys, once he's done, we're going to answer any questions, do like a quick Q&A. If you have any questions, we ask that you send them as a chat to Leslie, and she will read the questions when it's appropriate, and then we can answer those questions for you guys, all right? So Leslie Ann should be on there. Just find her, send her a direct message of the question, and then we can answer anything that you might have. So the person I'm going to introduce is Christian Gonzalez. He is the local representative for Capelli, and he's going to go ahead and give you a quick presentation. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so he can share his. Christian, are you there? I think he's still muted.
All right.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Sadesh. Hello, everybody. First of all, I want to thank you all for taking the time tonight. We have some exciting news following the news that Plantation is now going back to the roots of Plantation FC. In that process, we've been talking. I've built relationships with Anis, Sadesh, Chris, Lee, the board, and we're excited to announce that Capelli Sport will be the new partner and official brand of Plantation FC. So with that, we're very excited for this news. We're aware that many of you may not know the brand at this moment, but rest assured, we are the fastest growing soccer brand in the world. So we are planning on doing great things, not only domestically, but overseas. There's a lot that we're doing. So this presentation I'm going to show you will teach you a little bit about who we are, but also some specific plans that we have with the club and what we hope to accomplish together. So if you may, just give me a second while I set up this video. Sadesh, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. You're good.
Great. So everybody, that video is just a small preview of the brand that we're building. It's based out of New York City. We do plan, obviously, hopefully in the future, to have a video that features palm trees and sand and our nice South Florida culture. But being that we are a fairly new operation in South Florida, we've only been present for 2 years here. The brand is just accomplishing 9 years in existence, but has over 32 years of experience due to our parent company, GMA. So I will share another presentation at this moment. It's a PowerPoint that I will go through. It should take about 5 minutes. Sadesh, is that what you have
That's fine.
allotted for me? Is that okay?
Yep.
Great. All right. So, all right, starting backwards here, guys. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. Partnership summary for Capelli Sport and Plantation FC. To read a quote, we build meaningful and exclusive partnerships with youth, amateur, and professional soccer clubs around the world by providing customized apparel, client management, and unique player pathways. That last line right there is very important because it's something that we do different from all the other brands, as you know. Nike, Adidas, Puma, Umbro, Diadora, these are brands that we all grew up with and are amazing. However, we feel that we're offering something that is targeting a grassroots level and that is truly providing a partnership as opposed to just a brand that's selling apparel to your membership. We're excited to share the news. Who we are, Capelli Sport is turning 9 years old this year. We're built on a platform created by GMA Group, our 32-year-old parent company. GMA is a global retail manufacturer founded by our CEO, George Altiers, who the board has a few board members have met, and he's a person that's building an empire in this industry, revolutionizing the way that this industry is built. Aside from top of the line uniforms, we own 3 professional clubs. MSV Duisburg in Germany. Their men's program is now in Bundesliga 3. In previous years had been in the first division Bundesliga. Their women's program is in the first division Bundesliga. HB Kog in Denmark. The men is in first division, and the women's in the Danish elite division. They're now competing for Champions League. So that's a big success story. I'll show you a small video on that as well. Inter Allies is our partner in Ghana. They're in the Premier League and is a great partner that we've been using for development. So these are the 3 teams that we currently own, but we also partner with 3 specifically, but we have dozens others and some exciting announcements going forward. One is AEK Athens, Greek first division team. They play Champions League, constantly within first or second place of the Greek league. So they do wear Capelli Sport. Palestinos in Chile, first division, and domestically switchbacks to the USL First Division Championship, which is a division right under MLS. Some of our most well-known youth partners in the US are Rush, that's the world's largest youth soccer club. Locally is Miami Rush, formerly Kendall Soccer Coalition, and Florida Rush, which is in Orlando. PA Classics, that's where Christian Pulisic spent most of his youth career there. The Slammers out of California. Clearwater Chargers, we're announcing a partnership. They're starting this fall 2021, one of the largest clubs in Florida. And Chicago Sockers, the club that Michael Bradley, multiple other US national teams have come out of. We're also announcing that partnership this fall. So there's a long list. You can visit our website to see all of the clubs we work with. But this is to provide you guys a bit of knowledge and security in who we are. We're not just a new brand. We're well established and working with some of the biggest and most prestigious clubs in the US and around the world. Our model is very unique due to the combination of products and services and the player pathways. So we are excited to partner with a club with as much history as Plantation and ready to get to work on tournaments, pathways, uniforms, and the such. Okay. What it means to be a part of our team, first and foremost, we do manufacture, we're completely vertically integrated. So we manufacture all of our own uniforms. We distribute all of our own uniforms. The parents will be receiving packages directly from our warehouses from New Jersey. Our customer service is integral to the process. We have 24-hour service, email service, any issues or questions that you have regarding an order, we're more than equipped to handle it and have been receiving stellar reviews from our partners up to now. The quality is top of the line, professional materials, stitching, embroidery, logos, nothing to sort of fear as far as a change or a downgrade. Essentially, we do feel in the youth soccer market, we're actually within the first two quality tiers in the US. Youth soccer, as you know, is a very specific industry, and we're experts in that field. Aside from just the uniform component, that's the tip of the iceberg. As I mentioned earlier, we do access our network of these professional clubs, some that we own and some that we work with, to place individuals such as talented players, staff members, and to unite to bridge that gap between Europe, other continents, and the US. So that's a partnership that we fully think that is going to benefit this relationship because it's a realistic opportunity. It's one that we feel is tangible. As you know, third, second division in overseas is probably on par or a bit higher level than we are currently in the US. So those are real opportunities that can really make a real impact in the club. On-field benefits, a big announcement is that we're going to be presenting partners and a main sponsor of the Thanksgiving Classic. This is a tournament with so much history. Me personally, I grew up in South Florida. I played this tournament, and I make the joke that I never had Thanksgiving until I think I turned 19 because I was always at your tournament, and it was always such a pleasure. It was the most competitive tournament that we played. So we'd really like to, continue building on that foundation that has been built and have Capelli take it to the next level if possible in any way possible. So we will be a major partner. Our goal is to make it a premier event in the Southeast region of the US. As a presenting partner, we'll do more than just provide our logo and put it on product. We're going to provide value to the tournament, bringing teams, hopefully entertainment for the parents and the guests that are attending. So that's just one example of the many ways Capelli Sport plans to be a true partner with Plantation, not just a uniform vendor. Field and facility branding, there will be a notable amount of field marketing. We're going to collaborate together to put flags, banners, and all the like. We know that you guys have developed a certain expectation of who you guys are and what you represent. So we will be sure to do that and more and exceed expectations. Aside from uniforms and the partnerships, training equipment, fitness equipment. So Capelli Sport, due to our GMA background, which produces for companies such as Disney's, Nordstrom's, Skechers, there's US Army. So we're manufacturers for these high quality brands. We've come out with our own training and fitness equipment line, which includes state-of-the-art balls, kettlebells, jump ropes, what you see on the screen, but thousands of other products that I'm excited for you all to see on our website, which you can visit at any time. We've explained the relationship with Habit Koog and MSV Duisburg. You'll see a bit more information on the women's side, which is actually a very nice story in what we've been able to accomplish there. Off-field benefits, so we're a completely end-to-end full-service company. We build the website, we build marketing tools for you to promote your fan gear, your brand, your tournament. It's fully engaged. All the tools and bells and whistles that you're used to using with any other brand or any other company will be the same or better. So it'll be a seamless transition. As I explained, our customer service is around the clock. You guys will have a lot of confidence in what we're able to provide and answer in terms of inquiries. The player pathway, three main elements of it is players, network of competition. So not only players, but we can send teams over to Europe, host them at our facilities, We have a hotel on the grounds in Denmark at Habekog. We host international tournaments. So these are opportunities and a pathway to Europe that we can offer to your membership as well. We also host our own tournaments domestically, and potentially, who knows, maybe the Plantation tournament, we have our professional teams create an elite super group that could be exciting as well. These are some examples of players that have gone through our pathway through our clubs on the men's side. And these three on the women's side are highlighted, which I want to show you. This is actually a heartwarming story, and one that actually can tell you about the experience that some players have had. So this article was written through the collaboration of another partner of ours, WPSL. That's the Women's Premier Soccer League, which is unofficially second division, as there is no second division. So it's the NWSL and then WPSL as the second tier. We are the official partner with them. And they highlighted these two players who went through youth soccer in the US, WPSL playing for a Capelli club out of Chicago, and then joined Habekog through our pipeline in Denmark. And they actually filmed the video that I'm going to show you guys. I think it'll connect the dots in the sense of what we're actually providing. As I said, not just in uniforms and equipment. So I hope you guys enjoy this.
I was 4 years old when I first started playing. My mom was the one who played growing up and just always wanted me to try it out. I started out playing when I could probably walk. My dad played in college, and my whole family was just a soccer family. I had a good friend of mine. Her dad was coaching a team, and just loved playing, and had a boys team at first, and it just, the love for the game just kept growing from there. If you would have asked me when I was younger, it would have been a Mia Hamm or a Steven Gerrard from Liverpool, and they still are like awesome, amazing. But now I think my parents. I loved watching clips on Ronaldinho, Messi. Mia Hamm was the go-to. I love the environment of a team. I love the aspect of having each other's backs. It's an addictive kind of feeling that I'll have forever. I've come to love the tactics of it. I think it's really a beautiful game. It's almost like a dance, it's very much like a dance. And I thought now it's just very beautiful. Like, it really is a beautiful game. It's incredible, that feeling of like winning as a team and being successful as a team. It's not just individually. You can have a great game, but to bring others up and to do that for your other teammates and for them to do that for you, it's a feeling you really don't get in any other part of life. Not only are we getting opportunity to change football for women here in Denmark, but we're also gaining so much life experiences. Knowing that I am able to do this, I've always loved soccer and everything, and I think just proving to myself and proving to my family and just doing what I love is just the main thing, and I don't want to ever stop. Coming to Denmark and having such a positive experience with such a up-and-coming team, it's inspirational. I always wanted to play abroad. I love, being in America and playing soccer there, but I just think that there's so much good in learning how other people live and experiencing other cultures. The coolest thing for me is the people in the club. It's been exciting, to say the least. When we first came out here, we knew what we had to do in 1 month. Get 5 games, 1 month, get promoted, make it happen. That makes me super excited.
Apologies, everybody. I clicked by mistake. There was only about 10 seconds left, but let me stop sharing. So the cool part about that story is that the team was in 3rd division 2 years ago. George Altiers, our CEO, knew that there was a lot of talent in the U.S. on the girls' side, sent 3 players over. They immediately made it to 2nd division. Now there's 10 players that are American-based on the team. They're at the top of the league in 1st division, competing for Champions League. So there was an obvious immediate impact on that. So We know that that's not the everyday story, but we did want to show real life that it's not just words that I'm putting on a presentation. There's actual proof to the pudding. But in addition, we know that the focus is in the US. We have major connections in MLS, major connections in USL. Another exciting announcement is we officially partnered with Pro Referee, which is the referees for MLS, USL, CONCACAF, US national team. So on many levels, Capelli Sport, as I said earlier, we are the fastest growing soccer brand in the world, and we can't wait to provide it to you guys and get your feedback and work together. So that's it for me, guys. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Christian. Appreciate it. Guys, some of you sent messages directly to everyone, and then some sent them directly to Leslie. So Leslie, before you read the questions out that you have, I'm just going to go over a few of these that I can answer, and then Anis will elaborate on a few other ones. In reference to the coaching staff, Anis can go into a little bit more into that, but most of you guys have been here for a while, and you know that the coaching staff has been with us for a long time. We're not replacing coaching staffs. They're not going to be leaving and going someplace else. Our coaching staff is our coaching staff, and they have been for quite some time now. So that is not going to change. As far as guidelines, is there again, we implemented our guidelines, and those guidelines are going to stay. That these are things that we've done as a board and as a club together, and that's not changing. I'll let Anis answer that. Anis, you're still muted. Unmute yourself so I can have you answer a couple of these questions. As far as pricing, someone asked, we're visiting that at our next board meeting. We did discuss it at the last one, but we will make a final decision at our next board meeting. Prices probably will be affected in a positive way for you guys, but we can't go into details on that because it's not been finalized yet. Anis, you want to answer this question? It's in reference to the club's philosophy. How is it going to change with this name change?
Okay, so the club philosophy, and I see also a question about the coaching philosophy. Let me rewind a little bit. 3 years ago, when PSG came in, and they came in with their methodology that works very good in France, Paris, with the level of players that they have. And they asked us to implement this methodology. We gave it a try for 3 months, and it turned out to be almost impossible to collaborate with our level of players that we have, and with our culture and with our philosophy. So therefore, we reverted back to our own philosophy and our methodology, which evolves every year. It doesn't stay the same. If I can share the screen, can I share the screen very quick?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so mainly we have this in the program that every year we change a bit of it based on the demands of what we want from our development to a player individually and team setup. So we start usually. Hold on a second. I think that's this one. Sadish, how can I get out from here? Hold on.
There you go.
Okay, here we go. Can everybody see this? Can everybody see this?
Yes,
Can
yes,
you see?
you're good. Go ahead.
Okay, so initially I had this pyramid actually upside down where the point is pointed up. I changed it this year to pointing to above these clubs that they are owned by the Capelli Sports. So that's the base. We have the 3 and 6 year olds, which is future stars, we call them. Those that take place every year from the month of August to October. And then now they're coming back again from the month of April to the month of February, March until the end of April. So this is the group that we really look into bringing into our program. Also, we have the foundation program, which is locally here already. We have them. The 12 Academy, they play FAL. These are the leagues that they play in. And then this is the Academy U13. We will still call them Academy, since there was a question over there. We'll still call them Academy. Yes, we will still call them Academy. And then here, this is the tip of the inverted pyramid, where in the past we've had an adult team, which we were able to actually produce the players that you saw on a template that showed you earlier. Basically, we bring in young players that are as early as 16-year-old and try to put them into this environment and see how they evolve over the years. So the next year, we're going to go back and put the men's team again. And we're going to try to enter these leagues over here. The philosophy here. So this is what we have in our program: out of position and in possession. I showed this template before, I think, a couple of years ago in a city hall, somewhere in there. But this has changed. Like I told you, the game changes every day. So this evolves every year and it changes. Okay, so we have the month of August and September, and the month of October to November. And then in January, we start putting together what really worked and what should be emphasized and go further. For every age group, we have it. Okay, I gotta go fast so we don't take too long here. This is our philosophy on how we see the game is played. You know, we obviously, the outsides, we call them wingers rather than defenders or attackers. For the 7v7 game, this is how we see how it should be played. This is the 9v9, the wingers as well. We can go into more details eventually here in the beginning of the season when we host another full meeting with the parents to discuss the philosophy of the training sessions and etc. So this is the 11v11, and then it goes again to January camps, where the training broken down to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, what they'll be doing every day of the week. So the coaches know that, and there's videos with the links on what they need to be doing. So the philosophy will pretty much be the same as far as coaching, and the methodology will probably evolve as the soccer or the game eventually evolves. That's the question on coaching philosophy. What was the other question? The coaching staff will probably stay the same unless the coaching want to leave, but usually those are our family members. We always keep them. They've been with us for years. So we don't look to change, since they understand the culture, they understand our philosophy. So we tend not to change our coaching staff, and we just keep educating them as far as what we expect from them every week and every month of the year. What's the other questions, Sadish?
Someone asked about the leagues. So the leagues stay the same. The leagues are part of what we accomplished and as a club. So the FAO, the U12, someone asked, I believe that gentleman's on that age group. The U12 age group will continue playing in the Florida Academy League. That's not going to change. Above that, next year we'll continue on with the Sunshine Conference. From there, 13, 14, 15, 16s next year, because their 15s are playing in there, and then we're looking into other competitive leagues as well. But all the leagues that we're currently in as a club are going to stay the same for the most part. And like I said, we are exploring other avenues to bring the best competition to our club. So that's not going to change. Someone asked about the PowerPoint that Anish sent. Yes, it will be available to you.
Let me elaborate a little bit on the league first of all, Sadish.
Sure.
I applied for ECNL boys and girls, and I applied for MLS for the boys only, because the MLS there's only boys, and our application is under review as of now. We also, with the change to Capelli, because some of the questions I saw also, what would the Capelli help us with? The change to Capelli, and maybe Christian can also elaborate on that, is we feel Capelli is big in the country already, and we feel with the brand and with the ownership of these professional clubs, we feel we have a chance to really expand to a better leagues eventually. Once we apply on ECNL, hopefully we get a little bit of a recommendation there, and then for the MLS. So our application under review. We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. What's the question? What were you gonna say, Sadish? What's the other question?
No, they were asking about if they can get a copy of your PowerPoint. He'll update that and make it available. to you.
The copy will be updated. Usually it's usually updated around the month of June, and then we host a meeting. But I can send this copy right now, but expected that it will be updated or tweaked, not total change, but tweaked. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll change. We'll send it.
Hey, Leslie, are you on? Are you unmuted? Because I'm sure you have some questions that were sent directly to you. If you can read those, please. Leslie, going once.
The ECNL question here. The ECNL is for 13 and up. There is that's the application is for 13 and up. Leslie said she can't unmute.
I just asked you. There you go, Leslie.
Yeah, actually, they were not able to send me separate questions, so everything was sent in this chat
Oh, okay. I
to
got you.
everyone.
Right. So I think we answered most of the questions. Anyone else has any last questions that you can throw on there?
One other question that wasn't answered was if the new sponsors involved with any other youth program in the Southeast. And I think it was answered.
Yeah, Christian mentioned a couple of the names already.
Yeah.
Christian, you still there? Did you mute yourself?
He's muted.
While he figures out the unmute option. So he did mention the Rush group that they're based out of Orlando is the main one, but Miami Rush, which was former Kendall Coalition or Kendall, they're part of the Capelli group. I believe Miramar has joined them as well.
Key Biscayne.
And Key Biscayne has been this was their first year with that. Those are the ones that are in the area. I'm sure they're going to be adding more. Any other questions, guys?
Yes.
Unmute Christian.
I can't unmute him. He has to unmute himself. I invited him to unmute himself. There you go.
There we go. All right. All right. So yeah, you named a few of them. Just to go back over that list, it's Miami Rush was the first partner that joined, followed by a couple smaller clubs, Tropical, Hammocks out of Miami, that followed by Key Biscayne. Then now Cutler Ridge is also going to be in Capelli, Miramar, you guys, and the list is going to grow. We have currently another 4 or 5 clubs in the South Florida region that will be making announcements over the next year. So we're creating an environment in South Florida that is really collaborative. Anis and Chris and the guys on the technical staff know that we're setting up opportunities in USL, UPSL adult leagues, and our CEO, Anis, you can elaborate on this if you'd like, but our CEO is on the technical board and the board of a U.S. Soccer Foundation. They're working on projects that include MLS Next, ECNL, USL. So we do have some clout and some weight in those leagues. There are never guarantees in that regard, but within our partnership and the scope over a few years, we're definitely going to have avenues that we explore that will provide the club value in that regard. So that's definitely a big part of our partnership. As I said, it's not just uniforms. It's definitely regarding the pathway and the elite competition that you guys can take part in. So the answer to that question is yes.
I'm not going to elaborate too much on this, but so you guys understand the way the scope of the leagues work. So from a non-ECNL, the highest level is the Sunshine Conference in the state of Florida. That runs alongside in cohesion with the MLS Next Reserve. So all the second teams in the MLS plays in the Sunshine Conference, but in the Academy division. And we run the regular Sunshine League runs alongside those, and they play in tournaments together, which is part of the National Showcase Series. We have a few teams going up in a few weeks, next weekend, actually, 2 weekends from now to North Carolina, and they'll be playing against those MLS teams. So the question was in reference to the Sunshine Conference, why that over not Premier League? The Sunshine Conference is higher than the Premier League. The next level below the Sunshine League is the Premier League. So
Sadesh, there's a question on Capelli providing equipment. Can I just answer that?
Absolutely, go ahead, shoot.
Okay. Question is Capelli providing all equipment including the soccer balls to the teams and parents and the teams and parents only taking care of player uniforms? So we are essentially a top to bottom full service company. We provide everything from soccer balls to cones to bibs, bags. Something I didn't highlight actually is fan gear. It's a tremendous asset to what we do in providing fan gear options, t-shirts, hoodies, essentially everything you can imagine for that. But we will have a system. It's fully online. We will publish all of the products on an online template. Your membership will go on and shop. It's the same exact thing as soccer.com. You can use the roster or just select an item, apply a number, and order it. The facet that I want to elaborate on is that the uniforms are customized. You guys will be unique. You guys will not look like any other club that you've ever seen. You will own that uniform design. It's exclusive to the club. So you're building a culture and an identity with that design. So all of the items we have and we will present will be in conjunction with that design concept and exclusive for the club. So our biggest asset in manufacturing is not letting the clubs blend in. So you'll continue to stand out on the field. But to answer this question specifically, yes, we are capable of offering all of those products. But the final decision as to what is going to be published online and what is going to be equipped to the coaches and the club through the club will be decided by the board. So we'll follow their lead on that.
Just to elaborate a little bit on what he said about uniforms. So the way the uniforms worked is that we had a committee and we had multiple Zoom sessions with their design team, and we designed our own uniform in conjunction with their designers. So that is being worked on. We'll do a uniform reveal at probably sometime next month. Or when I say next month, I'm thinking that today is March, right? So sometime in April, late April, we'll set up an event and have a uniform unveiling. Anis, advantages. I'll let you. I can answer that, but
I'll answer that in a different way. The advantage of our kids staying with PFC next season is, in simple words, it's more goal realistic and easier pathway. Okay, so in other words, the partnership that we have with Capelli and the owner that owns these clubs and the female and the professional clubs and the female and male side, it's more goal realistic achievables to our youth products basically. Okay, and then we're going to help them obviously try to achieve that goal, but keep tracking of these opportunities. Whether we send them to Inter Miami, they come back to us, or whether we send them to Boca, MLS, they come back to us. So the goal will be always there by creating these opportunities for these boys. That's how I can answer. I can't answer what PSG could not offer.
Any other questions, guys?
Sadesh, can you answer that? U13 should have played in the Premier League. I can't understand the question.
No, I went over that. Yeah,
Okay.
I broke down the idea is to get them into the Sunshine Conference, which is a higher, just one step above the Premier League. So I mean, if worst case scenario we play in the Premier League, then we play in the Premier League. But the Sunshine Conference is one step above that, and that's our goal at this point, unless we get into the ECNL.
Yep.
I think Leslie has a question. Let me find her. I can't punch in Leslie.
Yes. Christian can help me out on this girls program here for that question. Yes. Unfortunately, yes, for PSG, we did not see a clear pathway for the girls, but with the partnership with Capelli, we definitely see a growth there. Christian, can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yes. So it is an equal opportunity in the sense that the clubs that we've established, namely MSV Duisburg in Germany and HB Koog in Denmark, both clubs, actually our women's program is at a higher division than our men's in those programs. The result is because the women's quality, as you know, they just won the She Believes Cup, I think 6-0 against Argentina in the final. So women's quality in the US is a high standard. So that is an immediate impact that's making waves all over the world. The articles were in, Top Soccer, ESPN, it was on Soccer America. On the boys' side, it's more challenging. There's more talent spread around the globe. But to answer the direct question, we have found more access and an easier pathway for the girls. So I think that's something that will immediately make an impact in your club. Not to mention that South Florida is known for having some, a bit of a fractured environment with the girls. So hopefully we can consolidate that and use the network of our clubs to really create a strong pathway. Keeping in mind that Plantation is one city, all of South Florida, if we can combine these resources, Anis and the guys have a great relationship with the other clubs that we work with, and we really find that to be the way that it should be done. It's done that way all over the country. There's a more collaborative environment, so this is a really great start forward. A really great starting point forward. On the boys' side, though, what I would say is there's a series of ID events that we will be collaborating on quite immediately that will begin that pathway. Anis, eventually we're going to make an announcement and we'll elaborate more on that. But the one thing he said is that this is a realistic pathway. Something, not to knock on these things, but a lot of times when top level clubs will create this pathway for youth clubs in the US, there's not a lot of proof that is going to work. So we have proof, we have stories, we have testimonials of how this functions. But with that in mind, I want to say that the connections we do have in MLS, the connections we have in USL, our domestic leagues, are also an option. So it's not only Europe, it's also domestic. And not to mention, obviously, probably the most realistic pathway is colleges. So there is a pyramid that we're going to create. Anis showed one, but eventually it's going to be very clear for your membership and how we work. And one thing I recommend is to go to our website, look at the clubs we work with, and then look at how those clubs have expanded on that pathway. Someone like Clearwater and Rush would not be partnering with us if we weren't contributing to that extent. So it's a very different approach from obviously Nike and Adidas. It's a worlds away because those brands are focusing on, Ronaldo and Messi and all those types of things. We're focusing on the youth and the grassroots. So that coupled with the pathways is really what we're banking on to make an impact and revolutionize the industry.
Anis, you want to elaborate on this question in reference to how we would get scouts identify players to those, not those pathways, but just exposure overall with the men's league and going on that?
Look, scouts are usually out there. It's more than it used to be right now. I'll give an example, such as Christian mentioned an example. There's more examples. Last season, I coached for Kendall Academy, and the season did not even start. And there was a representative of Capelli there, and he liked a player who was Brazilian, 18-year-old, picked him up and took him to Denmark, to one of those clubs. So I saw it with my own eyes. I lost a big-time player, but also that was a great opportunity for him. This past weekend, or no, 2 weekends ago, we played in Western Cup, and we played at the Naples, the brand new facility. And I saw three people, or scouts, I should say, from Capelli. Christian can also identify them. 3 scouts from Capelli watching the games. So the scouts are out there, from Capelli especially. There's many proofs of that, like Christian said. So like I told you, this was right in front of my eyes. And one of the Capelli guys also looked at our players, and he liked 2, and he invited 2 players to see them into their MLS environment academy. So if your son or daughter is doing very well, trust me, they will attract the eyes. Definitely, that's for sure.
To add on that, also Anis, there is a 4th club that we're looking at purchasing. I believe the transaction's already done, which is in Austria. Austria is one of the fastest growing in terms of quality with Red Bull Leipzig. It's, you know, neighboring Germany. So we have purchased a club. The announcement's coming out soon, but
Do they have a female side?
I'm not sure. Actually, there's details that I can't disclose, but we're going to elaborate more. My point is that 3 is going to turn into 5, turn into 10. So it's not just these 3 clubs at the moment. There's going to be eventually dozens, and the opportunities will continue to grow. Also domestically, South America, Caribbean, Central America. We really have our sites, and these are all plans that are already in action. We're just waiting to make the right announcements.
Any other questions, guys?
Sadash, there was someone asked about the ECNL application, if it's for all age groups or select ages only.
I answered that.
You
Yes,
did?
13 and up.
Okay.
If there's no more questions, then we can call it a night. Going once, going twice. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining. Thanks, Christian, for joining us and helping us out
Does
with
Lee
it.
want to say anything before we wrap it up, or good? Lee?
Lee's muted. Unmute yourself now.
Good evening, everyone. So I've been kind of in charge of the Plantation FC, PSG, you know, the travel portion of Plantation Athletic League soccer for almost 20 years. And I can tell you, my focus and the club's focus has always been on player development, our prime directive. And the coaching staff that we have, starting with Anise, all right, I mean, we share that's our philosophy, and it's never changed. I mean, I can tell you, we're probably the only club that consistently looked to develop players above all else. We've sent, you know, when some of our best players, for example, to the Kendall U19 U.S. Development Academy team, which was coached by us, because it was for their benefit. And some of those guys are now in MLS, or that some of them got full rides in college. We could have won a lot of state cups with those guys, but that wasn't our emphasis. It was to what's best for the players. And when Anise and Sadesh brought this Capelli story to me, I really believe this is in the best interest of our players to continue to focus on player development. And I think we have one of the best and most technically proficient coaching staffs in South Florida. There's a reason that ever since the USDA came about, the top U19 Development Academy teams in South Florida have always used our coaches to coach their team. At Kendall, at Weston, now at Boca United. Okay, they rely on our coaches' expertise for the highest level team in youth soccer in South Florida. So we have that reputation, and I think this is what switching now the uniform company Capelli, with all of what they do in soccer, in youth soccer, is going to be very good for our players. That's about it.
Thank you, Lee.
I want to answer very quickly the question. I think it's an important question. Are all the players going to have a fair chance to be scouted? One of my job at this club is to scout our own players, number one. Meaning, if I see a player from U11 who is far superior in his age group, I push him to U12 to see how he does there. And if he's very good in that environment as well, I pick up a phone and start calling the academies around. I don't hide my players, okay? So I don't. Last Sunday, we had a game U12 playing the academy, playing U13 division against Doral. Inter Miami scout called me and said, you have a game in the park that it's playing U13. Do you think it's a good idea that I come and scout players? I said, of course it's a good idea. It's always a good idea to come and chat about a couple of players. So yeah, I left him alone for about 30 minutes, and then he came to me and says, what do you think of this player? What do you think of that player? And so far he liked 2 players, and he picked them up for training camps. So that's how it works. My job is to really, if I see a player, I pick up a phone and call these neighborhood clubs around us, especially Inter Miami #1, and then we take it from there. So yes, the chances to be scouted, it's always there. It's always on.
Guys, it's that old saying, it's not so much what you know as an adult, right? It's who you know. Anis knows a lot of people. He has a great relationship with pretty much everyone in the soccer community. So he has the ability to help our players out when warranted, right? So when the player he feels and the scout feels that are good enough, he's able to present them to these people and get them into the right locations. All right. So understand that's a huge difference. That he has a great working relationship with many people in the industry. All right.
Sadesh, I'd like to add one last thing, guys.
Sure.
Being a resident, born and raised in South Florida, going through youth national team, playing Division I college. My career ended at Miami FC in the USL down here. My brothers went well beyond that professionally. He now coaches professional at FC Dallas. And we've seen every level of development. Plantation's always been at the top of that tier in South Florida. I'm just personally excited that now it's the Plantation community is going to be getting that credit for the development. PSG has likely done wonderful things. They're a great professional team, but I do feel that this is a time where you guys will be recognized for the community and the style and the flavor that you provide specifically. So we're very proud and honored to be invited and can't wait to work with you guys. So thank you for your time tonight.
Guys, before I let you go, I did send out an email to everyone. We're going to be having a watch party next month for the U.S. national team at Duffy's down the street here in Plantation on University Drive. So please anticipate that and try to make it a point to come out and support. That way, we want to do more things as a club together, make it more cohesive and as a one unit type of thing. So we'll be doing a lot of more events, especially as these COVID numbers continue to drop and we have the ability to do more things. We'll be doing a lot more. Just keep an eye on your emails, and I'll be sending out more and more emails with more information into that and any other updates that we have. All right, guys. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you at the fields this week.
Thank you, parents.
Thanks. Bye.
Good night.